Peace, everybody. Welcome to Capital Combat. The name says it all. I'm Hakeem Branch.
Roger.
And today, because of the massive snowstorm we got going on the East Coast, we're doing a little something different here. As you see, we're doing a little video call. But in today's episode, we're going to be talking about the inaugural Premier Boxing Champions card happening on NBC. That's right, network TV. This Saturday, 8:30 p.m. It's the first time in 30 years that we've had boxing on primetime TV on a regular basis. So this is a big deal. And on this card, we have Abner Mares in a showcase fight, fighting, what's that guy's name? Arturo Reyes. Then you got Adrian Broner and John Molina. And then you got Robert the Ghost Guerrero and Keith One-Time Thurman in what should be a very entertaining fight. We're going to start off with Broner and Molina because, like I said, the Abner Mares fight is a showcase fight. So take it away, Rob.
Okay, so as you said, the Mares versus Reyes fight, showcase fight. This guy has, 4 knockouts?
Something like that. I think it might be 5.
4 or 5 knockouts in maybe 16. It's not a whole lot of fights, and it's not a whole lot of knockouts. So we know that Mares has one hell of a chin, so he shouldn't be too worried about getting beat up. He should just make this fight look good, knock this guy out within 3 to 4 rounds, and just move on, because we all know trying to get some more fights out there with guys in his division. And he's chasing, who's the guy that knocked him out?
Johnny Gonzalez.
We all know he wants Gonzalez again, so he has to make this look good. So moving on, let's talk about some Adrian Broner and John Molina,
which should be a very good fight.
John Molina should push Adrian Broner. At least should, because we know about this guy is, one, he's got great offense and he hits hard. But we also know that this guy has no defense. He's put on exciting fights versus Lucas
Matisse. Yeah.
That was a barn burner, because I don't think Lucas Matisse was ready to get hit by John Molina. But that it wore more on Molina than it did on Matisse. So we got a guy who Molina's he's a taller fighter. What is he, about 5'10"?
Yeah, I believe he's about 5'10".
And Broner's only about 5'5", 5'6"?
Nothing. Yeah, he's about 5'6", maybe 5'7".
So we know he has the height advantage. We know he has the reach advantage. I'm gonna go on a limb and say he has the power advantage. But we all know Broner, he has better talent. He will be faster, and he's more athletic, and I think he's going to be more polished and skilled in the ring. But we just have to see how much Mike Stafford has worked on his actual technique in the delivery of his punches. Because we know he can do it. In the videos for him training, he looked actually really good. He looked in shape, but is he going to show the discipline to work on the craft and go out there and handle business?
Yes, and in Molina, he has a really tough challenge, because let's not forget, he knocked out Mickey Bay in the last round of a fight that he lost every round in, and he also did the same thing to Hank Lundy a few years back. So he has power that lasts late into a fight. With Broner, he gets hit a little too much for our liking, especially using the shoulder roll defense. He's been hit by slower guys. He's been hit by pretty much everybody he's fought. But like when he was at junior lightweight and lightweight, he was so much bigger than those guys, it didn't matter. You saw it with Maidana. You saw it with the split decision of Paulie. Now, what was the other? He fought another Carlos Molina, and that one was pretty much a 10 round wipeout, but he still got hit a lot more than he should have been gotten hit. So he has to be very careful with Molina, and hopefully him and his camp tighten up those technical deficiencies that Rob talked about earlier. He seems to be a little bit more serious about the sport now. He knows that he has to perform in the ring before he performs out of the ring. So I'm thinking we're going to have a good fight. It's going to go all 10, and Broner should show enough to get a good decision.
I'm going to take Broner in the decision. I would like to see him use a little bit more of the basics starting the fight, just to make sure defensively he's not getting hit. Again, this guy, Molina, seems to carry his power in the fight. He has game-changing power, to be honest. I mean, again, you saw that with Mickey Bay, and you saw that what you actually saw it with Matisse, and you've seen it with Hank Lundy, who hits hard as well. And let's face it, he's not a boxer, but I've seen the videos of him as well, and he actually looks in great shape for this. So we just got to see how he's going to deal with boxers. And let's face it, he's used to dealing with boxers. I just think Broner will have a better chin than the guys he's fought. I'm not saying that Broner has a bad chin. It's just that when you don't have that defense or the necessary defense, then your chin is only going to last for so long.
So yeah, this should be a good fight. This actually should be a pretty entertaining card as a whole, because in the main event we got Robert the Ghost Guerrero returning from his fight last June against Yoshihiro Kamagai, which was a Fight of the Year candidate, and Keith Thurman returning from his last fight against Leonard Bundu, which didn't really please a lot of people. He did what he had to do to get a W against a good veteran who came not to get knocked out and show a few veteran wrinkles, and didn't look the best, but he showed up and was tough in defeat. And I've been reading that Keith Thurman's been getting a lot of flack for it. We thought he did what he had to do. Like I said earlier, he was still more accurate. He still landed the harder shots. He just couldn't get him out of there, and he got countered a little bit. That's something that we have talked about on previous episodes. He leaves his chin out there to be hit, and he has a propensity to be hurt when he does. And against someone like Guerrero, he hasn't really shown a lot of power at welterweight. He did hurt Andre Berto in their fight, knocked him down, I think once or twice. But against Mayweather, he was completely outclassed. And against Kamagai, he showed a little bit more sturdiness. He was a lot stronger looking than he looked against Mayweather. And that's due to his new training regimen using CrossFit. And it's looking to be beneficial to him. He was already a guy with great stamina. He had good volume, kind of decent power. But now he's looking a lot more physically strong. He looks a lot more explosive. And he could give Thurman problems if Thurman leaves that chin out there for him. I think Guerrero has the better gas tank, but Thurman with the advantage in hand speed, power. He's also a career-long welterweight. He should pull this one out in impressive fashion, but Guerrero's going to make him work for it. What you think?
I'm going to say, while Thurman has knocked out his fair share of guys, I mean, he has, again, one time, has great one-time power. He's explosive. The thing about Guerrero is he's always been kind of big for his lower divisions, and he's pretty much settled at 147. With that CrossFit, he seems a lot more in shape. He seems a lot more solid. So I can't really say that Thurman is going to knock him out. And he should outclass him, but that depends, because Thurman, again, we do have to look at he should look at defense first because he likes to drop his hands. He needs to utilize movement because the key, I would say, is to make Guerrero come to you, which he's going to do, but not to stand in the box with him because he is physically strong and he may be as strong, if not stronger than Thurman in this fight. And I could see Thurman staying on the outside and exploding in with those shots. I mean, the guy knows how to punch. He throws from good angles. It's just that he drops his hands too much, and he really doesn't. I think he stands in there just too long, just a little bit too long, like you said, because he does get countered. The good thing is, Guerrero's not that fast. But if he walks him down, I think Thurman will have a long night if he's able to knock him down and push him against the ropes. But Thurman has shown that he's not one to allow himself to stay on the ropes. I'm taking Thurman. Actually, I hate to say this, but I'm taking Thurman in by decision. I don't think he's going to be able to get Guerrero out of there. But he should be more comfortable going rounds at this point in his career. Just from the last fight with Bundu, which he got countered, but that guy was awkward. And after he knocked him down, Bundu seemed to adjust and not get hit quite as with that one shot that's going to take him out. So I do give Bundu credit for that. I just think Guerrero is more of a higher tier B+ fighter, maybe A-, who's not going to allow himself to get knocked out. And let's face it, he just fought this guy, Kamagai, who doesn't have that mind-numbing power, but he was like 23-0, 23-1 with like 21 knockouts. So he's going to get some guys that can punch.
Yeah.
And they laid some leather on each other.
Yeah, I'm thinking that it's going to be a 115, 113 type of decision. I can't recall Guerrero getting hurt or stopped. It may have been very early on in his career. If he was, I have to look that up just to make sure. But I don't think he has. But even against these tougher, bigger guys, he's held his own and has shown a very sturdy chin. So like I said, I'm going 115, 113 type of decision. Very close fight. Guerrero comes on at the end to make it really, really close. And we're gonna get a good fight. Anything else you want to add before we end?
Well, he's lost 2 fights and he's never been knocked out. And that's going against guys like Berto and but then those were lower weights. I don't think he fought anyone that were true knockout artists. Except again for like Kamagai. Kamagai was actually undefeated. And he was he was undefeated. Let's see, 5, 7. And they're about similar size. Yeah, they're about similar sizes. So I mean, we're not looking at a great, huge physical advantage as far as like height or reach. But I think Robert Guerrero is going to come into this fight slightly bigger.
Okay. All right, so that's what we are looking out for. You guys let us know what you're looking out for. That's it for this episode. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like it, share it with your friends, even though the quality isn't up to our usual standards. Subscribe if you haven't yet. You can hit us up on Facebook, CapitalofCombat, Google+, same name. You can hit us up on our email, capitalofcombat@gmail.com. Any of those forums, you guys hit us up with a question. We can add it to the combat mailbag. We got the technical toolbox and plenty more coming for you. So we'll catch you guys in the next episode. And y'all have a good night. Peace.